Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to talk about twin flame telepathy because this is a real thing on this journey and all of us are experiencing some form of telepathy with our twin. If you are with your twin or if you are in separation, you're still receiving telepathic communication from your counterpart. And this is very strong because the twins have a natural ability to communicate telepathically. We can share information through the heart chakra, through intuitive messages, and we share that one energetic field. So it's very easy to connect to your twin and know what's happening with them because it's usually something that you're going to feel in your heart. You may receive messages. You're going to receive different ways of actually you're going to sense different ways. You're going to receive different sort of communication. You're going to receive different communication from your twin. So this can come in form of just feeling them intuitively, picking up on their energy. You could receive messages in songs. You could be receiving messages in dream state. And this is really something that is growing more and more because we have a natural ability to communicate telepathically. This is an ability that we all have, and we're getting this back more and more because we don't actually need this 3D technology to communicate. We can communicate just by knowing things intuitively and communicating telepathically. And this is what we're restoring more and more, not just with our twins, but with everybody. And so this is a beautiful connection with you and your twin because you're so connected at the soul level that these messages are constantly flowing, but you're also picking up on their emotional state. Sometimes you just know what they're going through. Sometimes you may be picking up on emotions, feelings, or you just know what they're doing, what they're going to do. So there is a sense of you just know what the other person is doing without physical communication. And so a lot of the times divine masculines could be going through something, the divine feminines is sensing that, and this can be something that if they are going through a lot, if they're going through a lot of different things in 3D, you could be sensing that very strongly, and this could impact you also because sometimes we're feeling our twins' energy, and this can feel maybe sometimes very heavy if they're still in that heavy karma, or if they're still in those lower timelines. This can really affect the divine feminine. And this is why we also have to put up energetic boundaries, not just in the physical, but also sometimes in the energetic, because the soul will not bring you together until things are really complete, because it really weighs heavy on the other twin. And that's also why we have the separation, so we can heal all these things, because a lot of the times that if the divine masculine isn't healed, if he's still in that karma, and the divine feminine is really trying to elevate, it can really impact the divine feminine's process. If you're still communicating with your masculine and he's really in that 3D, it can really drag you down. So this is another part of this process where that separation is serving a purpose, because they need to actually go through their process and close all those old timelines that they are trapped in, because this can really affect you, divine feminine. So sometimes you can feel this happening where they can pull on your energy, and this is another part of this, is they might pull on your energy, and this can feel like you're in your inner union, you're having you're in alignment, you're in soul alignment, and all of a sudden you have this pull on your energy, which can be very, very strong from your counterpart. And this doesn't mean that it's always divine masculine. You could be the divine masculine and your divine feminine is pulling on your energy, and this can feel like it's almost like the sense of dragging you down, like it's a very heavy energy, and this will impact you and can impact you emotionally, because their emotions will actually impact you. So if they're not feeling good, it can actually impact you. So whatever they're going through is actually something that you may be experiencing also through telepathy emotionally. So there is this heart connection, and it's hard to cut that out. On this journey, we can't actually stop the communication with our twin, but we intuitively know what they're going through, and usually the soul is letting us go through our process without interfering, where the soul will create that separation even energetically, so that each counterpart can go through their process, and so that the other one doesn't affect the other one. So because twins really do affect each other, and if one is in a lower timeline, it can affect the other one very drastically. So this is also why we have to put up some boundaries in this connection. And it's more that we're putting up the physical boundary if we're feeling like our counterpart is not on our frequency and they still need to go through their process and shifts and lessons. So that's when you put up the boundaries. So when you are experiencing telepathy, this is when you're really sensing the soul communication. You're really sensing the soul communicating. And this is something you can't avoid. You can't put a boundary with this. This is something that is part of this journey, because we have to get used to the fact that now we have a twin. We have another part of us that, we can't cut this connection. This is us. And so it's part of this journey. We just have to understand that we'll always be communicating telepathically with our twin, and that we'll always know intuitively what they're doing. We may be picking up on messages from them. We may be picking up on different signs from them and things like that. Depending on what they're going through, they may be sending you the messages. The soul is sending the messages. So there's a lot of communication between twins, which happens very naturally in this telepathic way. So we also have telepathic sex that can happen as well. I do have another video explaining all of that, because as you're doing this journey, the soul is really coming together a lot and working together, and part of that is exchanging that sexual energy, and this can feel like that telepathic sex. So I have the other video if you're interested in that, if you're experiencing that. And so this can be very strong and powerful, but this is part of the healing where the soul is really exchanging that sexual energy. So it's part of also the telepathy between twins and the soul connecting in that 5D level. And so this telepathy is growing and growing over the course of this journey. So as we're breaking down that wall of separation, this telepathy between you and your twin is going to grow and grow, because you're breaking down that barrier, and you're able to then vibrate on that same frequency, which is then able to you're able to then receive the messages more easily. So as you're breaking down this wall of separation between you, this polarity, this duality, you're able to then communicate more easily with your counterpart, and just the messages are coming in faster, and you're able to just sense everything very quickly. And it's just becoming more amplified over the course of this journey. I mean, everything is. So, and this connection really truly builds over the course of this journey. So this is a really special bond, and this goes beyond the 3D. And so we'll go beyond the 3D on this journey. We are going beyond the 3D. We're breaking down the wall of separation, which is the 3D structure. And so each twin has to break that down individually to really come into union. And this is really important. And the soul is the leader, and it's leading you to that process. And so this telepathy is serving the purpose of working together on a soul level to come into union. This is all part of this process, and you're always going to be led to that union point. And so this is part of this journey, this beautiful telepathy that starts to build and build between you and your other self. And you just have to flow with it. And if you're picking up on emotions from your counterpart, just send them the love, because sometimes they just need us to send them the love. And they really crave our energy and to hold space for them. So this is for both counterparts. So sometimes the feminine needs the masculine to hold space. Sometimes the masculine needs the feminine. So each one is holding space energetically. And sometimes we just need to send them love if you're really feeling like they're going through a lot in their 3D life. They're going through a lot of healing. And that's how you really allow them to progress, because you are their energetic pillar, and they are yours. And so this is what the message is for today. If you do want more information, if you want more help and support on this journey, I do have the Patreon community. We have a lot of information on there. I have my Divine Feminine Circle every single month, and all my courses and workshops are linked, and also have my private coaching. Thank you so much for listening and being here, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.